What's up, y'all? Okay, I gave y'all part one earlier last night about the T.I. and Tiny. This is going to be part two, and this is also going to be a message to these three people on this situation, and including my subscribers wanted me. Some of my subscribers wanted me to make this content, and I'm going to make it. I made part one. I'm going to make part two. I'm making part two. Basically, T.I. and Tiny, the whole situation. Allegedly, I'm going to always use allegedly throughout this. Allegedly, Tiny's ex-friend, Sabrina Peterson, if I'm not mistaken. That was Tiny's ex-friend, okay? That's Tiny's ex-friend now. But prior to that, that was Tiny's friend. And, you know, they had been friends for a long time. Well, allegedly, Sabrina decides she wants to come out and basically just let the public know what you guys see, what we've been talking about. T.I. and Tiny, sex trafficking, young women, and, you know, they're doing drugs, allegedly, and, you know, having all kinds of threesomes and things like that. That is what allegedly Sabrina Peterson had brought out to the public. But she was Tiny's friend. And she also said herself, allegedly, that she was a part of that activity. But as of right now, that is Tiny's ex-friend. I guess Tiny couldn't deal with her. She just, you know, cut all ties with friendship due to allegedly Sabrina and T.I. having a disagreement. And allegedly T.I. put a gun to her head. She took a lie detector test, allegedly, and she passed it. But getting back, she had been friends with Tiny for a long time. She was also engaging with the activity with them. She talked about it. I'll let y'all know the details. But I feel like I'm also going to get to Shakana too, if I'm saying her name right. Shakana, Tiny other friend. Allegedly Sabrina Peterson put Shakana in it. I'll get to her in a minute. But Sabrina comes out, you know, she's telling all this stuff. You know, she, you know, allegedly they gave, you know, T.I. gave her pills. Allegedly she had a lace blunt. You know, there were drugs involved, allegedly. And she's saying that, you know, her and T.I. did it you know, up to 10 times, allegedly. All this stuff going on, and there's other, you know, women there and things like that. And allegedly Tiny's also there as well. Like, she's just letting all this stuff out. She's also stating that Shakana was also into the activity. Okay, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. So all this is going on. She comes out with all of this, you know what I mean? But as of right now, that's Tiny's ex-friend. And now I'm just going to break it down from how I look at it from my point of view. First off, the question is that I would like to know, and I'm pretty sure some other people would like to know as well, if you're thinking the same way I am, who labeled it as sex trafficking? We know it won't Tiny. We know it won't T.I. We know it won't Shakana. I don't believe. I didn't hear her say that, allegedly, in any video. Who labeled it as that? Was it Sabrina that labeled it as that when she came out and told whatever she decided she wanted to tell? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who labeled it as sex trafficking? Because, to be honest, that's nothing to play with, and that's nothing to be hyped about. That's 20 years to life with sex trafficking. With an adult sex trafficking a minor, that's 20 years to life. Think about that. So that's nothing to play with. So I'm trying to figure out that part. Who labeled it as sex trafficking? Was it her? Was it the police, the law that she reported this to, or whoever she reported it to labeled it as sex trafficking? Who? I'm just trying to figure out who labeled it as that. Because, and now I'm about to shift my perspective, my mindset, to a whole nother perspective, because it's people that think like this too. It is a lot of people in this world that have a sexual preference that they like, whether if it's dealing with one person or dealing with more than one person. That's their sexual preference. And not encouraging this, but this happens because you can't control what people do. It is people that allegedly like to have drugs involved when they're having a little bit of fun. You can't control people's sexual preference. But my thing is, if you knew you didn't want to do it, or if you knew you didn't want to be a part of it, why would you even put yourself in that situation? Because that's their preference of what they want to do. They want to go out there and meet a group of people, allegedly, bring them back home and have fun. That's just what people do. People do it all the time. But to label it as sex trafficking and then 14 to 18 victims come out all in one day or within 2 days prior to allegedly Miss Sabrina Peterson coming out telling all this, that part don't make no sense. How all them people come out in 1 or 2 days? All them people all of a sudden just came out 1 or 2 days after Sabrina Peterson came out. Think about that part. Okay? Allegedly 14 to 18 victims came out. Again, it's people out here that like to have sex with more than one person and deal with a little bit of drugs, you know, having a little bit of drugs in their system. To each his own. You can't control what people do. But to label it as sex trafficking because that's their sexual preference, I'm looking at it from that point of view too. Because labeling as sex trafficking is nothing to play with. It isn't. 20 years to life. I'm going to say it again. So if 14 to 18 victims came out, which I'm trying to figure out how in the world all these people come out within 1 or 2 days after Sabrina Peterson comes out. What if Sabrina Peterson would have never said anything? Would those 14 to 18 victims would have came out? You got to think about that. But like I said, for people's sexual preferences, it's a lot of people that do allegedly, if T.I. and Tiny did that, there's a lot of people that do those things. They, you know, that like having sex with other people and do their little whatever drugs they want to do. You might well say a whole lot of others are doing sex trafficking then. That's 20 years to life for everybody. But if, I'm also say this, but if the victims are coming out, and if it's true, and it ain't just to be saying it, just to be, you know, playing with people, yeah, of course I'm going to take that in consideration. Of course I am. But in this situation, things don't seem right to me, so that's why I'm saying this. She said allegedly T.I. had sex with her over up to 10 times and popping pills in her, and she refusing. You know, after she done already had something in her system, and he still, you know, allegedly he says, shh, be quiet, and you know, he popping pills in her. And, you know, I wasn't there. I can't say he did it. I can't say he didn't do it. But my thing is, you coming out with all of this, and then you add somebody else into it that made a live video about it just recently, stating she didn't have anything to do with it. Shakana. And I want to say this. Shakana, when you made that live video, I felt like you shouldn't even have made that. Because I understand allegedly Miss Sabrina Peterson came out and said you had something to do with that. Of course. Yeah, I would be pissed. I understand you were upset. I understand that. But coming out to make a live video explaining it to complete strangers, and then kind of like putting a little bit more icing on the cake, giving a little bit more information, allegedly, of what the situation could have been going on as far as Sabrina bringing it up. I wouldn't even have made it a live video to respond to any of that. Because guess what, Shakana? If you know you ain't had nothing to do with it, let it go. You Tiny friend. You ain't Sabrina friend. You already threw that out there when she first met you. She, the vibe won't right. I'm gonna be honest. I felt like it was it seemed like it was some type of jealousy. You Tiny friend, y'all getting along, y'all got a little closer. You know what I mean? You never know what Sabrina was thinking. It just seemed like she didn't like you for nothing, for anything. She may have her own reason, but technically it probably was nothing. So I felt like there was jealousy there. You just never know. You just never know. But I felt like you shouldn't even have made the live video. You Tiny friend. Behind the scenes, you talk to her. Ain't no point of responding to Sabrina, because you and Sabrina won't even friends. So whatever she say, period, or in general, it shouldn't even matter. It don't matter what she say if y'all won't even friends anyway. Even though you may not even have no beef with her. You ain't even have no problem with her. But she may have a problem with you. But still, everything she say or said, I'd have been like, okay, she said that? Okay. I'd have took it in. But I'd have been like, okay. I wouldn't have made no live video discussing nothing to the public. You want to talk to Tiny behind closed doors about the situation, and y'all find a positive solution to distance Sabrina out. Because that's how I see it from what's been brought to the public. It had to be some type of jealousy with Sabrina and you, Shakana. It had to be. What? I don't know. Because both of y'all are pretty. Tiny's pretty. T.I.'s a nice looking guy. But but we're not even talking about looks. We're talking about the situation here. I'm going to also say another thing. How could I say this? I want to say this to where everybody understands what I'm saying. If you going to do stuff like that, as far as wanting to have sex with more than one person, allegedly, and whatever you decide you want to take by mouth with your body, as far as whatever, pill, whatever you want to do. I ain't getting into detail, whatever the person want to take while they're having sexual activity. But whatever you want to do, I'm just going to say this. Make sure that you find the same group of people that's on the same mindset as you. You never find groups of people that don't understand where you coming from when you have your own preference, when you want to do certain things. You never find those kind of people, because they're not going to be able to relate to you. They'll, hang in for the ride, but look what happens at the end. If you're going to do it, if you're going to do certain stuff, activities and stuff like that, you always got to find a group of people that's on the same mindset as you, to where, your business ain't going to get out. Because that's basically what this is. To me, that's how I see it. So that's basically how this situation went. If you're going to do it, you find a set of people that do the same thing you do, and it don't be no problems. That's how I look at it. Because it's obvious, if you're having sexual fun and whatever else with people that don't really do what you do, but they still trying to enjoy the ride, you never know what the outcome gonna be. It could be a horrible tragedy, if you know what I mean. T.I., I'm gonna be honest with you. You're a good rapper. You're very smart. You are intelligent. I liked you in ATL. Yeah, you played in some other movies too. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I looked at you different when it came out to the public over the years how you were treating Tiny. And I'm not even talking about this situation with this allegedly trafficking thing. Just how you treated her in general, you know? I just didn't like it. And that made me shift how I felt towards you as an artist and as a person. Well, I ain't gonna say as an artist, because you were still a good artist. But as a person, to want to even be engaged with you as an artist as far as your music, I just didn't look at you the same. You know, the public, of course, you know, we knew how you had treated Tiny, and I'm gonna be honest, I just ain't like it. And I know Tiny, you know, you all, you know, you're gonna defend for him. That's your husband. You're not gonna let nobody put him down. I understand all of that, but I still felt like he wasn't treating you right. I'm not saying he don't love you, but I just felt like he wasn't treating you right, and that made me look at him different. All I'm gonna say is, T.I., and I know you know this because you're smart, you never put the woman you love, you never make them look like a fool to the public. And I felt like that's what you had been doing over the years. And I'm not talking about this situation right now. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. I just felt like you just really made her look like a fool over the years to the public. And you just never do that when you love somebody, and that's and somebody that's been there for you ride or die. And I know you know that. Y'all been together too long. So I just felt like you never put her in a situation to make her look like a fool. You should never do it. And once I seen that over the years of how you were doing that, I looked at you different. I never disrespected you, never made nasty comments over the years about you. I kept quiet. I just knew in my mind, nah, I don't even look at him the same. All because of the way you were treating her. That's how I felt. I pray you get better as a man and treat her right. This time, really treat her right, and never make her look like a fool in public. Never make her look stupid. Make it right. So, yeah, that's how I felt about that. Shakana, I wouldn't even put my mind or have my mind on Sabrina. You want to talk to Tiny? Talk to Tiny behind closed door. Y'all need to get that straight. Behind closed door. Don't make no live video. Tiny, you're beautiful. You're smart. I know you know well. So, you know, I just pray strength for all of y'all. I pray for strength for all of y'all, because this situation is serious. This is nothing to play with. And it's shocking. And I just pray that, you know, you keep being the person you are, Tiny, and be a good person and always be there and be humble like how you are. But, you know, make sure you keep yourself out of situations, just speaking in general, that may harm you or distract you. You know, that's all that I'm saying for all of you, including Tiny. But this is basically the situation that's going on right now. And it's sad. It's sad. I would take the live video off if I was Shakana on that, how emotional she was and the things that she was talking about. I mean, because it kind of was like she was kind of like responding to Sabrina. I wouldn't even want to respond to her, especially if you know y'all won't even really that cool, you know. So yeah, I had wrote down some stuff because it was so much. Like, I didn't want to forget anything. I didn't. Will this mess up lives, careers, friendships? I don't know. I don't know. Well, it already messed up Sabrina and Tiny friendship. So yeah, it did mess up a friendship. But was their friendship over before this or after this? I think it was over before this, but still, friendship has been lost. Again, rewinding back, who labeled it as sex trafficking? Think about it, y'all. Everybody, a lot of people out in this world have sex with more than one person. They come home, they bring them home. You know, allegedly, if they want to take in whatever they want to take in, as far as alcohol or whatever, etc. You might want to say everybody's sex trafficking. But if it's people coming out complaining, it's rape, I can understand. Yeah, you get down to the bottom and find out what's going on. But you got to put 2 and 2 together. What sound right and what don't. Again, that's their sexual preference on that. You can't change that. They want to have threesomes, foursomes, fivesomes, tensomes. That's on them. So scratch that out. You can't control people's sexual preference. The main focus is the victims that allegedly came out. Are they really telling the truth? That's the main focus, not their sexual preference. Yeah. So this was a serious one. Whew, for me. I have wrote down a lot of information. So Shekinah, I wouldn't even respond to Sabrina anymore. That's a lost cause. Lost cause. Tiny. The only thing I can do is tell you stay strong. You know what to do. You know what you want to do. You know what you don't want to do. Can't nobody tell you nothing but you. Will this mess up Shekinah and Tiny's friendship? I don't know. I don't know. Will it ever be the same? I don't know. T.I., do you need to get your shit together? Yes. Yep. And don't you ever make her look like a fool in public again. I hope y'all liking this content, because this made my head hurt. It's just a lot of information. Like, I have wrote down a lot of information because it was just too much information, and I wanted to write it down and then try to figure it out. Try to figure out best way possible how it would sound through my common sense. And that's what I got out of it. I believe it is jealousy between Sabrina towards Shekinah. That's why they never really had a friendship. They never did. Shekinah said in her live video, allegedly, you know, it was just always kind of like a nitpick, or she would say things about Shekinah. Shekinah didn't understand why. You know, that's a jealousy thing to me, you know. You never know what's going on behind closed doors. We only know what we know in public. You just have to have the common sense to put 2 and 2 together. That's basically what this is about. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Like this video. Please, guys, have respectful comments with this particular content. Because I know probably T.I., Tiny, and Shekinah will get to this video eventually. And, you know, this is a very sensitive topic. Just speaking my opinion, my perspective of how I look at things with this. So make sure you guys have respectful comments. You know, you can give your opinions, but just let it be respectful, you know. This is nothing to play with. Again, sexual trafficking with an adult, with underage girls, if they were underage, not too underage, I'm going to say 17, 16, whatever, if they were that age. Allegedly, I was told they were young. But anyway, still, it's 20 years to life, life term with sex trafficking, you know. So, yeah, it's nothing to play with. Let's hope it's not sex trafficking. Let's hope, you know, things get in order. But also, before I end this video, Sabrina passed a lie detector test with T.I. with him putting a gun to her head. They had gotten into a little altercation. Yeah, that was wrong if he did that. He shouldn't have did that. He shouldn't have did that. Because somebody could have got really hurt. And he really would have did some time. So that part, yeah, he shouldn't have did that. She passed a lie detector test on that, allegedly, that he did that. But all the other information with their sexual preferences and, you know, telling everything and all of that, and it's just, why now? You know, where did it lead? Why did it lead to all of this? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, might be a part 3 to this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave respectful comments, you guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.